In today's BS report, poor Bill Shanks is talking about his alma mater, the Georgia Bulldogs. They haven't had the most stellar season, and this weekend they're up against longtime rival, the Florida Gators. Boo Gators. Here's Bill with his thoughts on their season so far and an outlook for the upcoming game.
So last Saturday night, the Georgia Bulldogs knew that the Florida Gators had already won their game over South Carolina. All Georgia had to do was to beat Kentucky to set up for a big Georgia-Florida matchup this week, where the winner would probably be going to Atlanta to take on probably Alabama for the SEC championship game. But something happened along the way. Georgia almost lost to Kentucky. Almost lost to Kentucky. Now, they won, and people that are upset at people that are criticizing the fact that they didn't play well are saying, well, hold on, a win is a win. Why are you even thinking about criticizing that? But the problem is, for the last two games, Georgia has come out flat. They've looked horrible. They got blown out in Columbia, South Carolina by a very good South Carolina team, and then they turned around the other night and they almost got beat by Kentucky. And Kentucky is one of the worst teams in the nation, not just in the SEC, but in the nation. How could Georgia, after knowing what Florida did and knowing what was at stake on Saturday against the Gators in Jacksonville, look flat in that game against Kentucky when they had 2 weeks to prepare? And then after the game, Mark Richt acted like it was no big deal and said, well, it was a win. A win's a win. We're 6-1, and I'm happy about that. What would have been the problem with him coming out and being a little bit Nick Saban about it and saying, you know what, I'm the coach of this team. I'm not happy with what happened. Yes, they did not play very well at all, but if we're going to beat a team like Florida, we're going to have to play better or we're going to lose. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with him saying that? He wouldn't have been necessarily calling out his players. He would have just been telling everybody what we already knew by watching the game, and that is Georgia did not play very well. And instead, on Monday night, it took one of the players, safety Sean Williams, to come out in the press and say, hey, this defense is playing soft. How embarrassing is that the coach couldn't say it, but a player had to come out and say, this defense needs to play better or we're going to get killed in Jacksonville on Saturday. There's a problem with this team. And you know what? When I try to think, all right, how can Georgia win this ball game on Saturday against the Gators? It's hard to come up with some reasons. They've got to play a perfect game, have no turnovers, and not get beat on the line of scrimmage. And you tell me, if you've watched Georgia the last two games, can they actually do that? Florida is riding high. They are 7-0. They've had their best season, obviously, in a couple of years. Will Muschamp, the head coach, who is a former Georgia Bulldog player, of course, is riding high and has a lot of momentum and energy on that team right now. And they know what's at stake on Saturday. They know that if they win, they're going to Atlanta and still have a chance for the national championship. Georgia has not played well in big games. The last big game they really won was probably 2009. The last big SEC game they won was probably 2006. So are they going to go down to Jacksonville and upset the undefeated Gators? I don't think so. And if this is embarrassing and bad like it was in Columbia, come Saturday night, Sunday morning, people are going to be wanting Mark Richt to resign.